Hi there, today is Monday, June 12th, and Fern here. Fern, can you look at the camera? Whistle at her so she'll...
Hey Fern. Hey girl. Hey.
Fern here had her puppies on Friday, which was the 9th of June. So we're going to introduce them to you, and hopefully we'll be able to not have Fern be too much of a camera hog. She's a pretty calm, good girl right now, so I think she'll do all right, huh, Fern? She's been a great mom. These pups are growing very, very quickly. She's very attentive to their needs, and they are eating well. Huh, Fern? So we will introduce them to you. Fern, can you sit down? Can you sit down so your face isn't right in my face? Sit down. Let's see here. Let's start with, well, we'll just go, Adam's got a list over here of their weights. I'll just go in the order the list is, and then I won't get confused who I've done. So at the top of his list is the gray puppy right here. And gray today weighs in at 1 pound, 0.01 ounces. So just almost exactly 1 pound today. Mama's got to give the baby some kisses, huh? Okay, if we roll gray over here, we'll show you each puppy's markings. I'm sorry. Okay, so... Okay, Mama. Let me get Fern settled in. Settle in. I know. They're looking for you, huh? Okay. So here we now Gray's all upset. Held her on her back too long. So here's our gray girl. And we will show you her markings. So she has, if we look, she does not want to put her head up. If we look right here in the throat area, there's a little tiny white dot right there on her. And then her chest area is solid. Her front paws are solid. And if we look at her back paws, she has a little bit on this back left. She does not want to be held on her back. A little bit on this back left right here, right around her nails. It's going to have not a solid white marking, but a frosting, kind of like a highlight. And there might be just a hint of that on these right two middle toes too, just like a few highlighted hairs. So those are our gray girl's markings, and she is a really big, good-sized puppy. Mama's been feeding her well. All right, next on our list is our purple girl, who is over here. Oh, she's eating, but she gets lots of chances to eat. So I'm still gonna take her off and go in order of the list so I don't get confused. Okay, so here is our purple girl. You can see her. Today she is weighing in at 0.74 pounds. So she is, a little bit smaller than the gray girl. And if we roll her over and look at her markings, if I can get her to lift her, they don't like for me to make them lift their head up. I know, baby. If we look, there's a little tiny dot in her throat area, just a little tiny. I don't think that's gonna stay. And she's kind of got two markings on her chest. We'll use Mama's back to lay her on. She's got a little bit of a stripe right here, just a tiny bit by her calic, and then a little bit bigger, spot lower, right here, just barely left of center. So those are her chest markings. And then if we look, paws, front are solid, back are solid. She doesn't want to straighten her legs out, but her back paws are solid. She does have a little bit of a marking right here in her groin area, right there and right there. Those lots of times will go away. as they grow because the hair in the groin gets really thin. But that's just something to watch and see. That may stay, it may leave. Mama's concerned about her crying, huh? So we let her finish eating, Mama? Okay. So there is our purple girl. Here, friend, we're going to put her back down here and let her finish her snack, okay? Let's put her down there. And next on our list is pink. So now I'm actually going to have to be the mean girl and take pink off. If I stick my finger in their mouth right here before I pull, that just breaks the suction and it makes it more comfortable for Mama. There we go. All right, so here is our pink girl. Today, pink weighs in at 0.59 pounds. So she is the smallest one of the litter, but she's growing well. All of these pups are eating really good and they're growing really well. She was born smaller than the other puppies, but she's growing great. So if we roll her over and show you, she is solid in the neck area. She has a pretty good marking here in her chest. They don't like to raise their heads. Hold on, her ribbon's kind of in the way. There we go. So right there, it's almost a T shape. Right here in the chest, she has a very clear, distinct marking. And if we look at her front paws, right there, and then if we look at her back paws, her back paws look like they are going to, straighten out your legs, especially this back right, but even the back left, they're going to probably have, some lighter toes as she grows. And then she also has just a tiny bit right here in her groin, and that will probably go away. Let me show you on her. The pups were into the vet today and had their dew claws removed, which are like thumbs on these front paws. Those have been removed, so if you notice the little spots on them, that's what that is. And right here on their tails have been docked as well. They take the last third of the tail off and the dew claws off to reduce the risk of injury when they get older. It's much safer to do that when they're at this age and they don't have a lot of nerve sensation. It's not very traumatic for them at this age. Whereas if they have an injury later, they can rip a dew claw off, or their tails are quite thin, they can break a tail, and it's much more of a traumatic situation then as they're bigger. So that is our pink girl. Okay, next on our list, looks like Teal is up, which is right here, kind of hiding under my knee. Here is our Teal girl. And today she weighs 0.88 pounds. And she is a solid pup, meaning if we look at her, she does not have markings, nothing in the neck, chest. Front paws are solid. Back paws are solid, nothing in the groin. So she has no white markings. She is a solid pup. All right. Next on our list, we are moving to the 3 boys. So Fern had 4, you tired. Fern had 4 girls and 3 boys. And the first boy on our list is Brown. He's kind of hiding right here too. I'll grab him, wake him up. Here is our brown boy. Really good sized pup. He is 1.08 pounds. So right there at the 1 pound mark today. If we roll him over and take a look at him, he has a tiny little white right there in the throat area that may or may not stay. And I know, buddy, put your head up. He has a tiny little white mark right here on the cowlick of his chest. Again, pretty small. If we look at his front paws, he doesn't want to hold them still, but they are solid. If we look at his back paws, they are solid. If we look at his groin, he has a tiny little bit of white. Again, that probably won't stay, would be my guess. So there is our brown boy. Really good sized boy there. All right, next, Blue is just a hair bigger than Brown. Here is our Blue, and he is 1.1 pounds. These pups all have a nice deep color to them. They're pretty dark in their coloring. Here's our Blue. If we roll him over, oh, I was gonna use Fern as a table, but she moved, so I'll use my lap. He has a bigger marking in his neck. That one is big enough. I can pretty confidently say that will stay at maturity. He also has a mark right here on his chest, and it's not huge, but it is very clear and distinct. Distinct boundary. That's probably going to stay for sure as well. If we look at his front paws, they are solid. If we look at his back paws, he might have just a couple white hairs on this back toe. But if he does, it's really pretty faint. I'm not even sure. That might just be the lighting. But he also has some groin markings, just faint little ones right there. Again, those usually fade as they grow. And so there is Mr. Blue. And last but not least, we have Red. He is the biggest of the boys and also the biggest of the litter today at 1.16 pounds. If we roll him over, he has a little tiny bit in his neck, like, I don't know, 4 hairs in this throat area. That's probably not going to stay. He has a small, if I can get him to hold still, a small marking right on the calic of his chest. It's really small and it's not distinct, like it doesn't have clear boundaries to it, so that one may stay. It likely could fade as he grows. And then if we look, hold still, buddy. He's not wanting to put his feet out. His front paws are solid. He has markings on the back feet, both his right and his left. He has some white frosting right around his toes there. And a little bit in the groin. Very, very faint. Pretty confident that one won't stay. That marking. So there is Mr. Red. Biggest of them all for this litter. And Fern has done so good taking care of her babies. She is an experienced mom. This is not her first litter. So she's an experienced mama and she has just done wonderful. She's very attentive to them. She keeps them clean, make sure they're all gathered up and around her and getting fed, and as much energy as a Vizsla has, it's amazing that, these mothering hormones hit their system and they'll just lay here like this and just let the babies have a 24/7 all they can eat buffet and get them a real good start in life. As far as markings go, some people prefer the markings and like the individuality that gives. Other people prefer the solid. It's really mostly a matter of preference. As far as if you're going to do a show dog, for a show dog, as far as the conformation prettiest dog contest, markings are allowed, but they need to be limited to the chest or feet as far as that is concerned. But that is the only area that has any regulation on that as far as breed standard. Fern, Mama here, you can't really see her because she's pretty relaxed right now. She has a very thin but long line down the center of her chest, and Daddy Cliff is solid. And so, we've got a little bit of each in these pups, but they're doing great. We're really, really pleased with them, and we're happy and excited to introduce them to you. We're excited for those of you who will get to welcome them into your family and have them be an exciting and adventurous member of your family for years to come. Get these girls over with everybody else.